Welcome to my channel, Super Genius Chronicles. I joke that I'm a jack of all trades, master of two. Engineering and problem solving are the two. I'm very good at engineering and problem solving. So I've been doing this for decades. I've done video games, I've done hardware, started a company that built a board, PCB board and stuff like that. So I've finally got my act together, been really too busy doing all this technology, but it's about time. What I'm going to try to cover, or what I am going to cover, is a lot to do with software, because that's been my entire career. Video game development will probably be very focused content, but also general programming in C++ and Python. I've done a lot of that, programmed in most languages like C++, Assembly, Pascal, Python, JavaScript, Java, TypeScript, and myriad of others. I worked on Rampage. I did that in assembly language on 8086 and 68000 and 6502. And I did worked at EA, Electronic Arts, and worked on the Wing Commander 3 for the Sony PlayStation. But I had a company where I designed PCB boards for Sega Genesis development too. So I have a very broad knowledge on different areas, again, all in tech. And I'm looking to kind of share that tech experience with the world. So here's some of the topics that I came up with. For sure, AI tools and programming, because that's my recent work that I've been doing, including tutorials with Claude, Grok, ChatGPT, and Gemini to code games and apps. Explore how to leverage the Genius AI ecosystem, which I really love, which is decentralized compute infrastructure, especially when you're doing video games or any kind of app. Some very unique way to monetize your applications. And, new findings that I've had and I've found recently on game development, how to speed up your processes, guide on creating apps depending on AI. Might use AI, may not, for programming techniques. But again, back to hardware circuits. I'll tap into my experience designing and building hardwares too, including, just building Raspberry Pis and putting the computers together and finding the best pieces and reviewing those. So there'll be a lot of tech code reviews involved. I've been watching them on YouTube for years, but I've always thought, hey, I could do better, not better, but at least add my flair onto it. So I'll be breaking down code for sure. I've done that in the past to improve quality, learn smarter workflows, sometimes with AI assistance, sometimes just, brute force. And also I want to do tech reviews like they do on YouTube with, testing tools like web cameras and hardware to optimize your creative setup, because I have done that on Windows, Linux, Macs, iOS, you name it. I've touched the hardware and set up things on all these different devices. So I wanted to bring my expertise to the table here in doing this. Of course, what would the Chronicles be without me talking about non-tech things like thoughts on tools or anything else we're sharing? And I mean tools like hammers or, 3D printers, which I've used before. I have way too many hobbies, that's for sure. But I'm thrilled because the first video I'm working on, I'll be on camera sharing my desktop. I'll walk you through creating 3D characters for games. I've done this, and it seems to be about 20 minutes from concept to the ability for it to be placed in a game. It'll be a hands-on tutorial with tools and techniques I've discovered to bring the game characters to life very quickly. All right, so in general, this is showing my desktop, and what I wanted to kind of show you was kind of how I've done things in this using Grok and I'll open up Grok here. Show you kind of the history of things I've worked on and, color grading and things like that. But I used Grok to actually design some of these characters, and it spit out this additional characters for the game after I went over a game design with it and gave it everything that I had, including this one character. And I wasn't happy with the graphics on this. I wanted it to look more, PBR rendered, stylized like these guys over here. And so what I ended up doing was I pasted this in there and I gave it the supporting characters and I gave it a list of them, and it just started generating. It generated only one. It picked the commander here and generated it. And I'm like, well, I like that. That's looks pretty good. So then I had it kind of remove the background. And of course, I went on to generate other characters one by one, like this guy, which you can see over here. And then what I did was I signed up for Meshy AI, and I loaded the image in here and generated that. And I will go into this on the video, the upcoming video. This is just an introduction to kind of some of the stuff I'm going to be covering from my channel. And you can see that, you know, it basically generated it pretty well. And I'll run through how Meshy works with this type of thing and how it generates textures. And you can see he's pretty close to this guy here. You know, the face is a little bit different, but I actually kind of like how it turned out a little bit better here because this guy was really frowning. And I touched this up, and I'll show you in my video how I did that. And basically now I have this 3D video, a 3D character, and I'll show you how you can skin them. I don't like to rig them in here, or skin it as they call it, skin or rig it in here, but I'll show you how to do that with another product that I use. But I just really wanted to show you that. And then I'll also go into kind of how I use AI. And you have to kind of know what you're doing. You can't, this isn't vibe coding. For instance, if you don't know what ambient occlusion is or have no clue how it's generated and things like that, but I do, working for NVIDIA for a lot of years. So I basically was building a panel here to basically bake ambient occlusion into the model so that when it's in game, you know, it's kind of baked onto the character and bake in his normal map and some vertex colors and some other things that I have for baking some metallic in there and things like that. So it's basically turning it into a PBR texture. And so this was the model that was loaded in there, and he's baked. That's not the ambient occlusion currently. It's a color. And so you need two models here, but I'll explain all that in the future. And, you know, how I was able to basically generate this plugin with the help of Claude and Claude AI, and show you how you have to run through and do certain things and tell it. You have to kind of work with it. It's more of an AI assistant. Definitely not vibe coding. This is not the typical, you know, I'm just going to dump out a bunch of AI code and it's going to work, because that just doesn't happen. Anyway. So hopefully I piqued your interest about this. If you'd like, I'd love for you to subscribe and hit that bell sitting over there. So like it and subscribe, as I plan to do a lot of these videos for the next few months. My focus is going to be on knowledge transfer. I'm not getting any younger. So this is really important to me to kind of document my career and my life, and transfer that knowledge to others that are interested in this type of stuff. So hopefully you find something interesting in the playlist that I've created. My first two videos, I have 10 recorded already, but not edited yet. My desk assembly is going to be my first review video. It's an electric standing desk that I'm sitting on right here, and actually that I put across right here. And the second video will be the AI, using AI or leveraging AI to generate game-ready 3D characters in like 20 minutes. It's pretty cool. My videos will most likely, again, be skewed towards technology, you know, my career, game development, AI, hardware, but some personal hobbies too, like cooking, because I've done, you know, I'm into anti-aging health and things like that. So again, thank you very much for watching this intro video, and hopefully you will subscribe and like, and we'll see you in the next video.